Humble Bundle for Android 2. If you remember, it couldn't have been a month and a half ago at the most. We had the Humble Bundle, the Humble Bundle for Android. By far one of the most utterly cool concepts, period. You pay your own price. You literally go to the site. You pick how much you want to pay. You also have the option to pick who you're going to pay. Do you want to pay the game creators? Do you want to pay the website putting this all together? Or do you want to put it towards charity? The only gimmick is if you pay more than the average price, which is right now $6.41, you get a bonus game, Swords and Soldiers. But here's the real gimmick. These are 100% DRM free. Okay, so tomorrow a piece of the earth could break off, you could be on it, and your games will still work. Okay, you don't have to worry about contacting servers and checking with them. No, it just works. And these applications, games will run on Windows, Mac, Linux, and Android. I don't know how you can beat this, and I haven't even mentioned any of the games yet.
Is it at humblebundle.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Humblebundle.com. Actually, I did. Swords and Soldiers, which is the one game I have not tried yet. I have tried Cannabalt, which is like the runner game. You're running and you tap to jump. Zenbound 2, which I've not tried, but I will say I think look good. Cogs, which is a very fun puzzle game. I thought it was really cool, actually. And then I did play a little bit of Avedon, the Black Fortress, which is a pretty, in my eyes, good graphics for Android. Really meant for tablet use, I believe. Role-playing game where you literally walk around, hit the button to attack, and your guy attacks with a sword kind of thing. Again, pay what you want. And here's a little stupid thing. You also get the soundtracks for Swords and Soldiers, Cannabalt, and Zenbound 2.
The soundtracks, really? Like what, in WAV file, MP3s?
When you go to download them, I believe last time at least you had a choice of MP3 or OGG.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
I want to play Cannonball. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I liked it because it starts out slow, and then as you don't run into things, you constantly get faster and faster and faster and faster. And even if you run into like a crate or a chair or something, you don't die. You just slow down.
I see. And you can't. You're not allowed to go off the back of the screen. Is that the?
Well, the screen's moving. You can't fall down.
I see. Jump the buildings.
Right. And I will say, sometimes you need to slow down. Sometimes you need to be fast.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome looking. I love it.
And I will just say, every time we've done these kind of bundles, we've only counted them as one app, and this was officially app 903.
Wow.
This is a lot. I just had to mention.
That is a lot of apps. Thanks, man. Cool stuff.
If I could add something to this one.
Totally.
Cannonball, I really like, and I never really thought about it before. I actually, at the beginning, it says plug in your headphones for more awesomeness. So I'm like, oh, all right. I was playing it on my Transformer. I plugged in my headphones, like, yeah, that was cool. It sounded really awesome, and like the soundtracks, he said, come with it. I could not get Avedon, the Black Fortress, to work on my Transformer, nor could I get another one in the bundle. But I did play Zenbound 2, which is a really neat game where you have this piece of wood, like a little wooden figure, and you're basically wrapping strings around it. And as you wrap the strings around it, paint kind of squeezes out of it. And once it gets 100% painted, you're done with that one. It goes to the next one. It's really hard, kind of hard to explain without seeing it, but it's a fun game too.
Wow.
And Cogs is as a
that looks really weird. Is this just the gameplay? It actually like the way it looks.
It.
Wow, that's really neat. Never saw a game like that.
No,
that's crazy.
And Cogs, the puzzle games, there's like these gears, and then you got to set the gears in the right, way to make things move.
Right.
But then it's also 3D.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, I was checking out the Cogs game. I showed a couple screenshots of that. This Zenbound 2 is fascinating. What an interesting looking game.
Beautiful. All of these games are just beautiful under Android app. Under Android.
I agree. And with that, I'll say some of them big downloads. Don't try to do it over 3G. It might take a little while, like an hour.
Okay. Cool stuff. Anything else on Humble Bundle?
I gotta check them out. I'll be honest. I don't. I mean, I've said it before. I really don't game a lot, but those look pretty sweet. Especially the running one. It kind of reminds me of the game that Anil brought last week.
Yeah.
A stick runner, which I got totally addicted to.
Did you?
Yeah, man, that's super cool. Like, so that game that Dora was talking about kind of reminded me that we got to run and jump and everything. So I got to check them out, man. I just never do because I got such a little phone too,
Yeah.
But I'm trying to. I mean, even when I see apps on Amazon that I go, man, that'll look like it won't look it on my phone, but I've kind of gotten the okay from my wife that I will be getting a Kindle this summer at some point. So
Sweet.
I'm like, well, so I keep grabbing stuff going, well, it might look good on there, so I'll just get it now. So I gotta start checking this stuff out.
Yeah. I know it's hard to do these shows and not play. If you're not a gamer, it's hard to do these shows and not get into these games. And especially with Dora and Linux for the rest of us, that's doubly as hard not to get into games because he brings up a lot of cool stuff on there too.
Well, there are actually cool games on Linux. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, dude, I still haven't tried Triforce yet, but I got to. Sorry. Total wrap up. The 3D Legend of Zelda.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that was awesome looking. Check out Linux for the rest of us, guys, if you want to hear about what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, and sorry, Steve,
yeah.
But speaking of Linux for the rest of us, I was listening to the last episode. Mark Hamill did invent the internet. I just want to state that.
I was hoping Sean would hear that.
I don't know what Dora's talking about.
What were we talking about? Wikipedia? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. Let me make a little announcement here. I didn't bring an app, obviously, because I never do. But I got a little restless about 3 days ago, and I ROM'd my phone. I just want to bring this up now, because I don't bring anything. Guess what I put on it, Sean?
Yes. I was waiting for this to happen, dude. It's about time.
I know, man. Don't be mad at me. I put Fresh back on it. I had it on for 2 days and I put Fresh back on it. Sean's getting up and leaving.
Sean has left the building.
Why?
You know what? Because every time I got a phone call and I went to answer, it immediately hung up on the person. So I might ROM it back and just mess around with it, but I needed my phone, and I'm so used to everything, the way Fresh works and everything on Fresh. I was so used to it that, you know how when people move from iPhone to Android phone, they get that iPhone, they miss their iPhone and they're like, they go through that withdrawal. I did that with Fresh, and I felt sad for literally a day. But I just really needed it to work, and that wasn't working, so I just said, screw it, I got to put it back.
Was it from the official .us site, or was it? Like...
I used Clockwork Mod, and it was in the list. It was actually in the list of Evo ROMs.
Yeah. So, was it ICS or Gingerbread?
I'm not sure. I think it was ICS. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure.
I would, if you could, I would try Gingerbread. Just it's more solid.
Okay, I'll try it again.
Plus, who talks on their phone, Steve?
I know.
Don't we all text?
I know, but I had like 3 calls, and it happened after the third one. I'm like, I got to change it back right now. But
yeah, no,
I enjoyed the experience. I actually had to ask Dora where all my apps were. That's how idiotic I was about the whole. I didn't know it didn't have an app tray.
Right.
Well, and I'll just say, Widget Locker or something like that might have helped, because I'm guessing the phone was ringing when the phone was locked.
Yeah, but it must have been, but I turned off my lock screen. So I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, because you don't lock, right?
No.
Never mind then.
All right. Well, I'll try it again, maybe in a couple days. but I just want to let you know. And I enjoyed it. I think my UI is really sharp looking.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, if you can get it running right, it even still. I mean, you have to get used to it.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of days where I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but then once you start getting into the actual features of the phone, you'll be hooked. It'll be the MyUI Addicts show.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say, when I told Steve, pull down the notification bar and then click on
Toggles.
it was like, oh.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, yeah, I'm hooked on that part.
All right, let's roll around again. Sean, what do you got?
All right, this one is something I've been waiting for a long time. You guys ever hear of like internetarchive.org?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff on there. All I know, music, live music. That's all I go there for. Live shows, and it's all completely legal.
Yep.
Every band on there gives their consent for tapers to put stuff on there. So I was looking, I would search for internetarchive.org app, and there was nothing on there. So if I wanted to use it on my phone, I'd actually have to go in the browser to stream a show or whatever, and it became kind of too tedious to even want to do it.
Yeah,
And
clunky.
yeah, it was just like, it's too much work. I'm not going to bother. So I was listening to some Dead, and I thought, man, let me just put Grateful Dead in the App Store and see what comes up.
Dude.
And I
They
came
have
across
hundreds.
right, and I don't know why I looked this one, but it's called Vibe Vault.
It's exactly what you wanted, it looks like.
Exactly. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, this can't be true. For me, I mean, there's, like everything. I know a long time ago, me and Timster was saying, like, with reviews, you can't always go by them. And most of the reviews are great, but, there's some on there, people saying it doesn't work. I have not had a problem. And it seems to be because you can actually download a show if you want to your phone, or just stream it.
So these
over
are
3G or Wi-Fi.
live performances by bands?
Yeah. Not gonna lie, not sure if it meets everyone's taste, but I like jam bands, so there's a lot of them on
Fish?
there. Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes they get a little too much for me, but
I got you.
But yeah, I mean, there's tons of Grateful Dead on there, and String
Tons
Cheese Incident.
Dude, there's a ton of
Jesus.
fantastic stuff on archive.org.
Really?
Yeah, so
Well, this
works
is. I
great.
think it's amazing that you wanted this app and then you found it.
dude, I'm serious. I've been looking for this app shortly after I got my phone. And I should have looked. I don't know how long this has even been on there, but
It was
just
last
like, wow.
updated March 14th. I have a feeling it hasn't been up there long.
Well, it looks like it's been there for at least 30 days. The last 30 days, it's definitely had activity.
Yes. And
yeah,
it's
well,
free,
hopefully
huh?
more.
It's
free. Like I said, you can stream, you can download, you can bookmark shows, specific shows that you want. You can search artists. You can just, there's a search bar. You can just search for the shows, or you can just go to artists and just go through the hundreds of bands that are on there.
Wow. Very cool.
And I mean, as far as quality goes, dude, it's pretty good. I mean, I got one show. It depends on the taper,
yeah.
or what it's from. If it's like a soundboard, it's going to sound really good. But if you like live music, you kind of want that tapers, sound where you kind of get the audience. I want to hear all that.
Really?
I want to be able to feel like I'm there in a sense.
That's awesome.
Dude, this is pure gold, man. And I do know my buddy, he's also tremendous fan of the Dead, and can't remember the name of the band. The one guy went to join. He went and saw him live a bunch of times. And I sent him a link to an archive.org search result page for Grateful Dead. And he said, when I see you next time, I'm going to kiss you on the mouth, but
Whoa.
I'm going to be in my house listening to my computer for the next couple years.
Well, if I can recommend, man, String Cheese Incident. It's a funny name, man, but these dudes, amazing. Like, a lot of people are kind of like the Dead, but these guys, I mean, they're newer in the sense that they're not, they didn't form in the '60s like the